Should we do nothing adding blue bubble messaging on Android?
Yep.
Pretty cool, right? All right, this was reported by The Verge and 9 to 5 Mac and basically everyone and their dog, but Nothing, the phone company, to be clear, not Nothing, the absence of anything, has announced Nothing Chats, an app that will make a text from an Android phone show up as an iMessage on iPhone, as well as enabling features like group chats, typing indicators, and voice notes. The app, exclusive to the Nothing phone, is a collaboration with Sunbird, which provides iMessage to Android bridging services in beta. When Marquez Brownlee asked if this operates similar to other bridging systems that route Android messages through a Mac server farm, Nothing confirmed that their solution is the same as that. Yes. So what this means is that users have to give access to their iCloud credentials to Nothing or Sunbird. I guess probably Sunbird directly. However, Nothing says that Sunbird stores them as a token in an encrypted database and deletes them after 2 weeks of inactivity. Okay. Realistically, if implemented the way that they say it is, Luke, probably fine.
Probably fine. Probably fine enough, I'll say. Not fine entirely, but fine enough.
But the challenge here is, the old saying as it goes, trust but verify. Luke, is there any way that anyone could verify this?
No. I don't think so.
I mean, unless you basically
try to break into it and fail.
Oh, okay, that's not
not a suggestion.
Yeah, really.
not legal advice.
It's not investment advice either. It's nothing. Just show's over. Show's over. Forget it.
We're out of here.
See you later. Have a good weekend. Damn it, Luke. Only 2 days later, though, Apple announced that all of this may be completely unnecessary. They are finally doing it. Okay, can we speculate for a little bit here? What do you think it was that made Apple cave? No, I wanted to have more fun with it, Luke. You ruined it. I was going to talk about.
Honestly, I thought with the 14-second delay that the lineup was going to happen.
Well, okay. I was going to talk about some of the ways that certain other parties have tried to put pressure on Apple to adopt rich communication. I think the S is for service, but RCS message or rich communication messaging standard, whatever it is, RCS. For example, I remember one year at CES, I think it was, there were little text messages from Google to Apple or something like that, asking, why they used outdated SMS still on the iPhone. I know Google has put a ton of pressure on Apple to adopt RCS. I suspect, although I don't know for sure, that the mobile carriers in the major markets have probably maybe not put pressure on Apple, but asked respectfully for them to adopt RCS because these legacy SMS messaging, or I shouldn't say messaging service because SMS is short for short messaging service, but this legacy SMS stuff sucks. Encryption is not supported. Group chats suck. Just about everything about SMS kind of sucks. And MMS isn't much better. But it's been very obvious to anyone with two brain cells to rub together.
You got there.
No, I'm fine. I'm good. It's been obvious to anyone with a couple of brain cells to rub together that Apple's main motivation for keeping iMessage and all of those extra nice things about messaging from an iPhone to an iPhone exclusive to the iPhone has been all about keeping you locked into the ecosystem, which I don't think we have to rehash how perplexed all of that makes me. I've never understood it. The color of a bubble has never mattered to me. The idea of being reliant on my default SMS app for something like a group message or sending more complex emojis or sharing media is just, again, it's utterly bewildering to me. Like I have over half a dozen messaging apps on my phone, and that doesn't bother me. I don't know. Some people seem to really struggle with it, but it doesn't bother me at all. But for some reason, this has been a major consideration for people to not only stay on the iPhone, but buy iPhones, like in some cases for other members of their families. So anyway, the last major party putting pressure on them, yes, was the European Union. Thank you, Luke, for spoiling the punchline.
No problem.
In other
Anytime.
news, that's actually kind of a bigger deal to me. Actually, hold on. First, let's talk about the benefits of RCS. It can work over mobile data or Wi-Fi, which is super cool. It would allow for cross-platform use of iMessage style features, and calling these iMessage features is ridiculous. So I'm just going to call them messaging app features, like read receipts, typing indicators, and higher quality images. That's super cool. Apple has previously criticized RCS as less secure than iMessage because it doesn't include end-to-end encryption. iPhone RCS messages might also route through Google servers because of Google's deal with phone carriers. Okay, that's interesting, which means that there is a solid possibility, nay, probability, that Android bubbles would remain green. So this is not exactly, the kumbaya, everything is completely interoperable moment that some people might be hoping that it is. But at the very least, you're not going to be stuck using 1998 technology when you're texting to your friend on an iPhone.
Could that mean it says iPhone RCS messages might route through Google servers? Could that mean that some, if not all, iPhone bubbles could be green?
No.
Because if are you sure? Because if they're getting around it by sending them through Apple servers to make them blue, this is literally just the inverse.
No. Okay, so the reason it would be is because it's not coming straight Apple to Apple across only their own infrastructure. As soon as it goes out to someone else's infrastructure, my understanding is it wouldn't be blue, probably. Like, for example, when you're messaging from one iPhone to another, and this came up a lot more years ago, like back when I had my iPhone 4, occasionally I would be messaging to another iPhone user and the bubble would be green, and that would be because it was sent as an SMS. So if I didn't have data reception, but I did have cellular reception, you could still send a message, but it would show up as a green bubble. So I don't know if they like patched that or if it's just way less likely these days to be in range of cellular but out of range of data. Like I think that's probably I don't remember the last time I had solid cellular reception such that I could send messages and make calls, but I had no data connection. But I've definitely seen that before. Anyway, the bigger news in my mind is that Apple, and as part of this same push from the EU, is required to allow side loading by next year. And according to leaks, financial filings from Apple, as well as code found in iOS 17.2 beta, Apple is preparing to allow side loading on iPhones well before that deadline happens, though they are still appealing iMessage and the App Store's designations as gatekeeper platforms. Man, side loading on the iPhone. Are you ready to go iPhone, Luke? I mean, you just bought an Android phone like a pleb. Don't you feel like an idiot now?
Well, I felt like an idiot for a while after I first got it because I didn't really like the phone. And now, honestly, every single time I pick up my 4A 5G, I'm like, wow, yep, I wish it was this still. So I don't know how I feel about my phone right now, even. But honestly, the thing that kept me from going iPhone was more there was cost and just the annoyance of learning a new thing because like I need my phone to do so little these days that I just don't really care. Um, but I'm not completely against switching. It was fairly close. I was looking into iPhones, and I could see myself on an iPhone in the future. There's really very little keeping me on Android these days. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how many more buttons the EU pushes.